Welcome to the Vineet Loya Show. The goal of this podcast is to share the knowledge and wisdom I accumulated from various sources, such as listening to amazing podcasts, or watching creative videos, TV shows, and movies, or reading insightful books, or having meaningful conversation with people in real life. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did while creating it.
If you are privileged in the societal context, then you have advantages which you can use and progress in the society. So that's good for you. The core important part is to not misusing those advantages. You're already privileged. So the better thing to do with that privilege is to actually use that privilege to stand with underprivileged. And when I say stand with underprivileged, you don't have to fight for somebody else, for somebody else's privilege. You have to stand with underprivileged. And that's the moral compass it comes down to. And I get it. A lot of people are going through their own internal shifts in their morality, in their mindset. And on top of that, with everything we are bombarded with this reality, it's very hard to kind of take a stand. And in that case, the most important part, personally speaking, is to play your part. You don't have to go out and take a stand in every situation, but you can play that part in your personal life. At the very least, if you cannot be part of a solution, don't be a part of problem. And some of the reasons why I'm saying all of this is because I was watching, some of the videos from protest, which turned into riots, or at least some of them. So these riots are predominantly caused by youngsters, and in most of the videos I've seen, by white youngsters. So then the question is, sure, there is already a societal advantages being white, but instead of using that privilege to stand with all the other underprivileged people, these youngsters are misusing their privilege for rioting and looting. And this will only add more division, and this will only make the crisis worse. And it's very hard to see the social structure breaking down. Again, I'm privileged that I live in a community where I'm not impacted directly. But I know there are a lot of people who live in, say, downtown Atlanta, who are experiencing with the crisis because of the riot, who are experiencing the financial crisis because of what these rioters have done to businesses. So I acknowledge my privilege, and that's one of the reasons why I would contribute by speaking about it. And see, we are living in a different timeline, right? Like if the things were different, or if the things become different, say 500, 700 years from now, where brown people might be more privileged because, believe it or not, we are over 1 billion. And I'm just talking about Indians. So we're going to be everywhere, all over the world. So 700 years from now, there is a good chances that the world will be more brownified, and brown people will be privileged at that point. And I hope by then we all will be above this racism and superficial divisions. But if we are not, and if the brown people at that time misuse their privilege, this message is still applicable for them. So it's not about a particular race, gender, sexual orientation, or a religion, or a citizenship. It is applicable for everyone if you choose to ponder over it, that is. But that being said, like coming back to the whole identity part of it, I was just thinking about how we identify ourselves based on our environment and as well as based on how we feel in the moment. And that's where you see the emergence of this personality test. People label themselves as introvert or extrovert, foodie or non-foodie, or you name it, right? These are all labels. And recently I was diving into the Ayurvedic definitions of identification. And Ayurveda is the ancient Indian medicine, and Ayurveda had a lot of information based on actual research. I don't know the current state and form, but I'm inclined to believe that there are still a lot of informative knowledge in the Ayurvedic text. But according to Ayurveda, we all are combination of different elements, the natural elements, which are earth, fire, air, water, and ether. And our personalities are forged because of three elements, which are earth, fire, and air. Because all of our bodies have water and also the other elements as well. But we are all born with inclination towards one element or the other. So you could be born with the personality type of earth, or with the combination of earth and fire, or earth and air, or any one of them. And it's fascinating how they kind of break it down and how they created a lifestyle depending on the type of body you have. So I just want to leave it out there because we have just changed how we label our personalities in the past few decades based on our psychology. But there is more to our psychology because our psychology is directly connected with our bodies. And our bodies are impacted because of the environment, because of the food we consume. So I personally believe that there is something to it about how you can actually see you're inclined towards one element among these five elements. And you can actually work it out and figure out which element you need to add within your system so that you can balance out all of these elements. Well, I guess the answer to the question, who are you, is that your collection of all the labels and how well you would be able to balance out those labels.
Thanks for listening. I hope you find our one-sided conversation valuable. Kindly share it with people in your life. I would love to hear back from you. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Vineet Loya. Also check out my website vineetloya.com. Enjoy rest of your day and stay peaceful.